Hi, hope you're keeping well. Welcome to you from Baku Caves in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, where it is 33 degrees and extremely humid and hot. The only place of relative quiet I could find today is here in the car park. So I apologise, I'm going to be wandering around a car park. Not very picturesque. I want to just chat with you today really about 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 15, which says this: be ready at all times to answer anyone who asks you to explain the hope you have in you. Are you able to explain the hope that you have in you? You don't need, as we're going to find out, you don't need to be extremely knowledgeable in the faith. You don't need to have huge amount of experience as a Christian to be able to share the faith adequately with others, but we do just need to be ready to share the hope that we have. Let me tell you a really strange story about the very first day when I became a vicar, now a priest in the Church of England. Now, I was ordained as a priest 32 years ago, and that was on a Sunday. And on the Monday, I came downstairs in my house to my office, and I sat down at my desk, and I looked around my study, and I thought, well, what does a vicar do? I had absolutely no idea what to do. So I sat there feeling a bit lost, and my boss had taken the day off. So I was just on my own on my very first day. Anyway, about 10 minutes into the day, the phone rang, and it was the parish administrator. And she said, "Steve, are you free?" And I thought, "Free? I've got no idea what I'm supposed to be doing." So I said, yeah, I'm available. And she said, "Could you go round to this particular house?" She said, "Sadly, somebody around there has committed suicide." So I was like, oh my goodness me, first day, first task. It was only 9:30 in the morning. So I said, yeah, of course I will. So I went I got in the car, I drove round to this house, and I met the family, and it was all very traumatic. The paramedics were still there. He'd gassed himself in his car in the garage, and it was a very traumatic occasion, as you can imagine. And I was sitting there with the family. I was there with them about 3 or 4 hours, I suppose, and towards the end, about 2 hours into our time together, we were just chatting, and then one of them said to me, "How long have you been a vicar?" And I said, "Well, since yesterday afternoon." And they just assumed, of course, that I had all this experience and all this knowledge to deal with their situation and to support them pastorally. But I hadn't even been a vicar 24 hours. So they laughed, fortunately, and I laughed. And then they just said, "Well, why did you become a vicar?" And so I just sat there and we talked, and I shared with them the gospel, and I shared with them my life story and why I become a Christian, and what Jesus meant to me. And it was a really powerful time together. And it meant that when I came to do the funeral for their son about 4 weeks later, I built a really good rapport. I was able to talk about Jesus and the gospel during the service, and then I was able to support them for quite a few years afterwards as well, and on a regular basis to return to the gospel and share with them the Christian faith. But it was a very odd and quite a surreal moment in my ministry, really, and quite an amazing way to start my very first day as a priest. But it reminds me, of that verse in 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 15. Be ready at all times to answer anyone who asks you to explain the hope you have in you. When I sat there with that family, I had no knowledge of what it meant to be a priest. I had no knowledge, really, of pastoral ministry. I certainly had no experience whatsoever. But, that wasn't what they were looking for at the end of the day. What they wanted was me to share my story and just tell them what Jesus meant to me, and to be able to show them compassion and to listen. And I want to encourage you, really, that in your own life you may feel that you don't have much experience. You may feel that you don't really know very much about the Bible, or you don't know too much about the Christian faith and Christian doctrines. And I would say to you, do you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you've got a story to tell, if you can just tell people what Jesus means to you, if you can share, as Peter says, the hope that is within you, then that is enough. That's what people want to hear. So it's kind of a really short encouragement to you today, I hope, just to just be ready to share that hope with other people, to tell them what Jesus means to you, and that is enough. That verse from 1 Peter, I hope that is helpful. Short and succinct today. I think I need to go and find some shade because I am really burning up here. But just before I go, let me just show you these incredible caves and rocks here. I'd love to take you inside, but it really is absolutely heaving with people, so I can't. But there we are. Good. I hope that's been helpful, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care. Bye.